After working on indie sets of about 15 to 20 cast and crew members, I wanted to scale back and see if it was possible to do a high-quality movie as a solo filmmaker. Acting, directing, shooting, doing makeup, and everything else in between. In this video, I challenged myself to make a contained horror film in the span of several hours, using my house as the backdrop, this light the size of a credit card, and myself carrying the entire production. So look out, Bradley Cooper, because there is a new creative chameleon in town who also didn't win an Oscar this year. So the first thing to do is make some fake blood. But I don't know. I think just a lot of red does it. This is something that horror is really effective at doing, is despite budget constraints, having someone with a bit of a story when the film starts enhances the production values. Hang out with me while I do my makeup before a film. I say this checked off some bucket list items that I never just want to check off again. I'm down with being done. It smells like Play-Doh. It does. It totally does.
We have light purple and brown.
Would this be it?
No, that's gonna be way.
You can't do it. I'm doing this by myself.
Okay, so take this on the eye that's your baggy eye, blend it.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. It looked pretty scuffed. Would like coffee grinds do anything? What? Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm putting coffee in my face. Would you like some coffee?
Yeah.
My neighbor's gonna drive by, seeing me do this, be like, yeah, this is the other guy's shirt. I just think that like backgrounds, wardrobe, whatever, if it has texture to it, it just makes the frame more interesting. Is this what they do in the biz? Not too sure if this is what they do in the biz. I think it is an industry standard. Start scissoring it.
You look like the man I love.
Don't go out there! Jackie keeps trying to assist me through this, and it's really peeing me off. Yeah, stop giving advice. Just compliments. I just want compliments. You're helping again. Babe, I can't get help.
Can I just see your arm?
Vaseline or baby oil, awesome for sweat. Hair gel is good to put in your hair to make it look like it's greasy. The best is like corn syrup, cornstarch, and red food dye mixed together with the tad of blue. You got blood, dirt, and sweat. What else do you need for your movie? I mean, you probably need a lot of other things. You're like, actually I need funding, financing, a crew, actors. The way you do a production on your own is the same way you do it with a big crew, which is block, light, shoot. We've got the Zhiyun Crane 4 attached to a tripod, and then I've got Shinobi monitor here, FX3 on the top, and then my audio is the MKE 400. Because I want to try and do some like moving POV shots throughout the movie and have some mobility, I like having it on the tripod because either I can shoot it straight on the tripod, like I just get shots like this and then just move the gimbal around, or I can just pop it off with a quick release. I can keep the f-stop at a higher number on this, so probably around an f6 or an f7, because focus will then be my friend. Awesome, this feels nice. Even though I can see this stuff over here on the frame where Matt's standing, I'm hoping I can just bring this into Photoshop and just get out this part and make it black or dark or whatever. Okay, so we're doing a quick little fog. Fog can be your best friend and worst friend. It's your best friend because it gets these beautiful light streaks and creates a nice look in your frames. It's your worst friend because once you start it, it is a continuity nightmare. So this shot, oh yeah. The cheapest item that you can have on your production kit is fog to make the shot look better. Yeah, there's a difference between fog and haze. Big difference is price. Haze machine is very expensive. Fog machine is more affordable. Haze is a more dissipated texture in the air. Fog is much more clumpy. This is called greeking. A strange term, couldn't tell you where it came from. I don't know. I don't even know how to act. Like as soon as the camera started rolling, I got like, you're like, oh shit. Yeah, I did. I'm like, I'm overacting. I was less worried about entering the house as I was exiting. People being like, what the frig is going on? Or, damn it, I left my eye open. So I was thinking about my neighbors again. Pretty good. That felt really good. I think we'll do one more. All right, I want to give a quick plug to the light that I use, which is the Zhiyun X60. This thing is incredible. I'm lighting this scene right now with it. And here's why I love it. Now, my small footprint setup was to just try using one light, but that's all I needed for most of these shots. Balancing both natural light and just dark ambience was enough to make this film feel good. This pocket light goes up to 60 watts, which is bright enough for these YouTube videos, talk to camera stuff. It's got this big ass light modifier on it. Look at this guy. Look at this little guy. Oh, it's got the police lights. Oh my God, don't look at it right up. It's bright enough for all the scenarios that you saw in this video, even replicating things like sunlight, moonlight, and they're good for talk to camera things as well. I'm using my X60 up here, and then I've got another Zhuan light, the 200 watt up there, just to show you that you can use a low powered light with a high powered light, and they work together. You probably would never do that, but it's possible. We have the technology. But this light was crucial to doing a shoot like this because I hate having big, bulky things. The bigger your footprint, the harder it is to make a film. And let me tell you, you do not want a lot of stuff when it comes to shooting a movie on your own. And so having a light that was small, portable, and I could just plug a battery into, a lot of the setups I could just plug the battery into. I didn't have to plug it into the wall, which saves so much time for setups. You can also plug into a battery bank to charge it while you're shooting, so you don't need to worry about if your batteries die, as long as if you have a battery block, you can do that. It has RGB color, so you can change between different looks and lighting. And if you want to attach a Bowens mount, like what I have here with my softbox and then the diffusion in front of it, you can emulate this look with this light. Every time you're gonna cut to this, I'm gonna be using a different wafter. When you eat Doritos, do you start salivating right before you take the bite? So I'm just trying to get a cool frame because these windows look really nice the way they're angling in here. So I think if I kind of do one of these, like a wall lean, goes with the axe goes in line with the window. I think we got it. I think we did something. And to save my arse, just in case, like, I don't know, I looked at the camera in a shot or whatever, we'll do a punch in and I will no longer have to freak out my neighbors from my posture here. Even if you're working with unbelievable things, and I'm not saying in a good way, I mean, just when movies don't feel real, they feel uncanny. And a good way to sell something that you might not feel good about is to make beautiful shots. Yeah, that feels nice. Great. So it gives me just a little bit of fill. I don't want it like super bright. And beautiful shots breaks down to composition, lighting, and blocking. And if blocking can really help out your composition. This looks cool. The wall looks so dope. Yeah, there's two ways we can do this. I can shoot this way, so getting him to kind of come through the frame here. I like the way the natural light's coming in, so I'm gonna close these blinds and create negative fill. We're putting just this extra little curtain up. Yeah, that controls so much light that's coming in here. A cinematographer's goal is actually not to put more light into a space, it's to control the light in the space. And usually less light makes it a little bit easier. Especially on a small shoot, I'm just gonna do single source lighting. And the haze does a lot. Might not be my cup of tea for this shot. I totally thought there was gonna be rays coming in. Shooting up towards the ceiling is nice because it's easily doing some nice production design where I'm not seeing any of these pictures in the shot or anything that identifies our house. Just going, because this is kind of the motivated window light. So it's hitting just this corner here. I'm getting a bit more dimension. More fog, yeah! Yeah, this is my assistant. So I'm gonna use this stand to get focus, and that's where my head will be. Stan! Stan! I really wanted to be cheeky and try and shoot all this on the 24. Crank up that brightness. So I've changed the f-stop to the 1.4. I'm setting my focus closer to the window or to the door. And then I'm hoping my guy can walk across and go through here. So I just set up the X60 outside. I'll show you what the light does to the wall here. So I've got some nice splash happening here and it's trailing across. If we turn it off, this whole area is a little bit more shadowed. I'm sorry, but poor Ollie's so afraid. Cool, okay. Getting into character, here we go. So I used to do these films all the time. Whenever I started filmmaking, I didn't have anyone to work with, so I would just shoot these films in my parents' basement or spare bedroom and usually just lock myself in a room for 6 hours and see what I could make. I know it sounds crazy, probably was, but it really was a great learning process. So doing this kind of reminded me of my process of when I got into filmmaking and shooting these little short films in my parents' place. All right, so the next shot is Buddy looking up the stairs. So what I want to do is actually make him seem smaller. It's the first time he might seem a little weaker, and that's because there might be something upstairs that he's afraid of. And close up, wider angle, It feels way more invasive, which is what I want this character to feel. Yeah, so maybe I bring the camera in just a little bit. Yeah, and that light kind of coming through the window just looks like the sun setting from another window. Ollie.
You acting right now?
Yeah, I'm acting. This is the heroic moment with the character. I'll be honest, I had so much more respect for acting in this video. I think my performance could have been way worse if you were focusing just on my performance. But if you're insecure with working with an actor, try just doing an interesting wardrobe, and it might sell it a little bit further. And the wardrobe can tell more of the story than the actor's performance. If we turn the overhead lights off, what I really like is actually what's happening here. We're getting some natural light come through this room, and if I open this door up, I'm starting to see some light come across the back wall. Poor Matt probably can't see a damn thing. Ah! What I'm thinking is we can put this right in front of the light here into something like that and direct the light so it becomes more, well, directional. That's crazy. And doing these 5 different lighting setups with this one system shows how important diversity is within lighting and having a tool that can do that, but also that you don't need a lot to get a lot. Put this piece of tape over top of the center here because it creates a bar of light across the center, and it almost sort of feels like a window. So when I was watching back in the behind the scenes, I saw like steam coming from the matte box that we put over the light. The light did not get too hot, and we would turn it off all the time. That was not steam, that was smoke from the fog machine. And to any of you thinking that this was a fire hazard, I made sure it was well ventilated. It didn't get too hot, but definitely keep an eye on the material that you're shooting with. By far the hardest shot I've ever done in my whole life, carrying an axe camera, walking upstairs, acting, performing, and trying not to fall down. But a cool ass shot though. Yo, that's sick. I just want to speak to gear really quickly. I think having tools available that work within your workflow is so important, and not to look at someone else's workflow. And I hope that you can watch this and get inspired by the things that I use, but it's not the be all end all. You might find that just shooting on a tripod or doing it handheld is way easier, and just find the things that work well with you. So what I'm gonna do is make sure the brightness is up to 100%, is putting this shower curtain up, just a little bit more diffusion. So like a big, giant softbox. See, bro? Okay, that looks just super juicy. That POV stair shot one more time with just a different lighting setup. Here. That's when we see me, that's cool, I come out of the shadows. It's so funny too, it's like, if I wasn't thinking about the shot, I think I would have been like a complaining little baby. Like if this was like a workout at the gym, probably would have stopped like 1 second into it. Awesome, it might be bad, I have no clue. Stair shot also super difficult, putting the camera behind my feet and trailing it while I'm going up the stairs, trying to get like a tracking shot. Really difficult to do. I kept hitting the gimbal on the stairs, and probably way easier with an operator. Blue light room? Oh, blue light room. Final scene, we're getting like the red light up, making it look all haunted and scary. I've said this in other videos, but having colors change within your film, not always necessary, but if you're shooting in one space and want it to feel like many, changing the lighting can do a significant amount of damage on your production value. And I thought a good way to just make it more interesting is having a point of interest at the end of the hallway, which is the light hitting the door, and then leading lines that lead you to that point of interest. And that was kind of all that we were thinking about, and using that one light kind of created that grave encounter shot effect. Trying out all these different things. Selfie mode was definitely, I think, one of the most unique shots, and it looked so silly, the filming of it, but the shot was just this cool cinematic frame. So I used, I wanted to challenge myself and shoot everything on the 24 Art Series Sigma lens, and we kept it at that focal length the entire time. And it was a good challenge, and I think it worked well with this film because all the shots were wide. Some points I was like, God, I just want to put on a 16 mil and know that it's always in frame. But I think having a little bit closer just gave it a more cinematic quality. Okay, so the final shot of this video, I'm doing it quick on my phone, but I'm really shooting it on my actual camera up there. is this overhead shot that ended up being this VFX plate. Green screen, not fun. I was originally gonna get it to be done by like an animator. I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go lay on the green screen and crawl with like this creature and key it in. So I ended up using the keying feature within Premiere Pro, keyed myself out, wore this mask shirtless in front of a green screen, which is a very embarrassing video of me. I'll leave the blackmail material at the end of this video. I'm listening to music, it's really weird. But that was the final shot that I ended up playing into this whole thing, and I think it turned out good, I guess. I mean, this was all done solo, so just take it for what it is. Cool. Feel like we got something there. Think we got a scene, man. We're all scened up. Oh my God, I feel so much better now. That's a wrap. We finished the shoot, and I think it was way harder in some areas that I thought it was gonna be and way easier in other areas. I think overall, complex shots, like doing gimbal tracking shots or following someone up the stairs, complex movements on your own, I wouldn't recommend it. It just was so hard, even on a wide angle, and knowing the shot and the framing, it was just really difficult. I think the best cheat codes that I learned from today were the fog machine. Fog, one light, little bit of shade makes a big difference to a scene. And my biggest regrets, just killing myself over those staircase shots. Look, they'll be cool, but you know, sometimes you sacrifice your whole day over 1 or 2 shots, almost out of pride to try and get it right, when I could have just tested the shot a little bit better and realized this might not even work. I always get frustrated at this whole process. Sometimes, you know, it's like we have the best job in the world, but sometimes it seems like we're curing cancer or doing brain surgery, and I think it's just not to take yourself so seriously. So those were like the key takeaways. Thank you guys so much for watching, hopefully listening and maybe learning. If you guys want to stay tuned for more stuff, there's some buttons, but that's it. Now here's the film that we shot. Green screen, not fun. I don't like this.